Hey, this is a continuation of the video from yesterday where stuff I got when my wife and I went away last weekend. Juan Pablo Torres, he is a Cuban trombonist. He played with Paquito de Rivera for several years. This is his 1968 album, Algo Nueva, and it's jazz funk with traditional Afro-Cuban music. It's really good. I'd recommend it, and part of the reason I picked it up is Mr. Bongo reissued it. Mr. Bongo is a British label founded in 1989. It used to be a record store on Berwick Street in the Soho section of London, and they've been reissuing Brazilian, African, Latin music for years, and I think I've got a few Mr. Bongo records here and there, but I really haven't aggressively pursued like looking for the label. And when I went in this record store the other day, oh, I forget the name, I saw this Mr. Bongo, and I saw this as well, Fantasia, and it was listed as instrumental, which sometimes with Latin music is cool. I don't speak Spanish, so the vocals are just yet another melodic instrument, so sometimes I'd like to hear it played. I'd rather hear it played by a guitar, a sax, a piano. So instrumental. Anyway, I picked it up, kind of disappointed. It's Latin funk again, great. Trippy electronics, great. And then orchestral stuff. And the orchestral stuff is, on first listen, really smooth. And boy, it sounds like somebody's going to start singing Sound of Music. I wasn't crazy about it. And I do realize the first listen when you buy a new record is the most intense listen and critical listen, because you're hoping for the best, and anything could throw off your mood, like, oh, this is terrible. Not happy. So we'll see. But I have to, let the dust settle, pull it out again, maybe 6 months, a couple of years from now, listen to it again, see what I think. Jerry Cole and his Spacemen. In the 60s and 70s, he was an in-demand session musician. He played on stuff like the Byrds, the Beach Boys, Phil Spector albums. He was in LA's Wrecking Crew. And this is an album, like all his solo albums, are surfing hot rod instrumentals with his backing band, the Spacemen. And again, the backstory is the label it's on. It's Sunday's Records, formed in Coxsackie in 1989. Bob Irwin, who became experts in psych, surf, and garage rock. So anything on Sundays I'm going to pick up, and anything Jerry Cole I'm going to pick up. Speaking of Sundays, also, they seem to put out one record of an entire group on this imprint, Lost Legends of Surf Guitar. I got 2 double albums of Lost Legends of Surf, which are various artists, fantastic. I talked about in my last video. This is one whole group, The Impressions. Twin guitar, vintage, surf. I know, that's about all I know about it. Haven't listened to it yet. There's 3 Freddie King songs on here, which is kind of cool. And I'm sure it's going to be great. Tackhead, Friendly as a Hand Grenade. Bought the CD when it came out, never saw it on vinyl. It's an Adrian Sherwood production. He is the guy behind On You Sound, British dub genius. If you like dub taken to the next level, check out anything on You Sound or produced by Adrian Sherwood. On this, he's got Bernard Fowler on vocals, who has been sung with a lot of people. And the Sugar Hill rhythm section, Sugar Hill of the original rap Sugar Hill gang, their rhythm section, Keith LeBlanc on drums, Skip McDonald on guitar, and Doug Wimbish on bass, which after the success of putting this Tackhead project together and a few others, they became kind of the house band for On Your Sound. So I was pretty excited to see this. It's dub funk industrial. Came out in '89, and it sounds every bit of '89, which to me is not a bad thing, but it is a little dated. But these guys and Adrian Sherwood, a lot of good records between them. Another Martin Denny. I think I'm coming close to having all the Martin Denny's I need. This was the 3rd album from 1958. Forbidden Island. It's typical stuff from one of the founders of Exotica, jazz, Hawaiian music, Latin rhythms, island sounds, bird calls, and a little Asian music influence here and there. Good stuff. The Makers, Rockstar God, rock and roll. This is their 7th album. It's on Sub Pop. Garage punk band, formed in '91. I probably got 4 of their albums on CD. This is the first album I picked up on vinyl. All Music Guide says it's their best record by far. Haven't listened to it, looking forward to it. checked out a couple samples online, and it sounds like they still have their New York Dolls sneer and swagger intact. So welcome addition to the collection. And one more volume of Stompin'. Stompin' Volume 2 I talked about on a few previous videos. Collection of wild-ass blues, rock, and R&B. And I think there's 27, maybe 30 volumes of Stompin'. This is 2, so I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 22 and 24, so I'm on the road. There you go. That's it.